The harbor lighthouse, truly a testament of man's brilliance and ingenuity. Before the lighthouse was invented, passing ships in the night many times lost their way and ran aground in the blackness of the ocean night, crashing into the rocks. They sank, all because there was no lighthouse. Man knew that something had to be invented to stop the loss of life and property, and something as simple as a tower with a bright light was the answer. A lighthouse. A watchman, set upon the walls of a city to warn of approaching armies or other dangers, was like a lighthouse on dry land for the inhabitants of the city. But what if the lighthouse refused to beam its light? What if a watchman refused to sound the alarm to warn the city of approaching danger? That indeed would be wickedness. But would it not be beyond logic and reasoning if the captain of a ship did not heed the beaming light of the lighthouse? Or the people of the city would not heed the alarm of the watchman? That would be beyond wickedness. That would be insanity. But that is exactly what has happened to a once relatively noble country that has lost its way and on the very threshold of a great, great prophetic fall. America, America, God certainly has shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. And in our blessed prosperity we developed arrogance and pride. And then we rebelled and lost our way. And then God responded. Or should I say, he did not respond when we needed him most. My name is Jeremy. I'm what is called a watchman. I'm a preacher's worst nightmare, as all watchmen have been throughout history. I've been given the thankless duty of sounding the alarm to God's people when danger is approaching or prophecy is about to be fulfilled. And over the years, I've sounded only a few minor alarms, and even these were not heeded, and the consequences were dire, though more on a personal level than this most recent and vexing global alarm. This alarm is by far the most important and urgent alarm I have ever received. And again, it has not been heeded by those who call themselves God's people. Is this not the way of his people? Deaf to the voice of the one they say they serve, blind to the light they say they have been given. They used to kill watchmen. Now, thankfully, they just call them names. Heretic, conspiracy theory nutcase, chicken littles, and go about their deluded merry way, about their business as if you have said nothing, when destruction lies at the very gate and the deadly storm clouds begin to form in the distance. No, I'm not a preacher. I'm merely a watchman. Unlike a preacher, a watchman doesn't work for a particular church group. We have regular jobs, just like you. And when needed, called by the big boss to give a message to all of his people. I used to wonder why I had this calling. Not many ever listen, and even fewer believe. What is the point, I'd ask my employer, to which he would respond, so that they can never say that I had never warned them. Well, this is my final duty as a watchman, and this is my final message. And what a strange and disturbing message it is. A message so bizarre that you wouldn't believe it if your mother told it to you. What has been revealed was something far more bizarre than the subject matter of any movie. The Matrix doesn't even begin to touch upon the strangeness of this message, and it is far more terrifying than any horror movie. This message is more like The Matrix meets They Live, and is even more terrifying than the horror classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But I wasn't about to dash out into the middle of the street in the darkness of the night screaming, "They're here, they're here. Why don't you people listen? Why don't you people wake up?"
You fools! You're in danger! Can't you see? They're after you! They're after all of us! Our wives, our children, everyone! They're here already! You're next!
No. Not a good idea. This story begins nearly 3,000 years ago, when a man by the name of Daniel, incarcerated yet admired by the ancient king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, wrote his terrifying visions of the night about what would happen just prior to the end of time. Oh yes, it has been sealed, unable to be understood all this time, though many throughout history have laughingly thought they had deciphered it. It was written that it would not be unsealed nor understood until the time of the end, the time of its coming to pass. That time is now. My personal story of how all of this was revealed is as bizarre as the meaning of the formerly sealed prophecies of Daniel. Like I said, I'm no preacher or some famous or infamous church leader. I'm an entertainer, a singer, flying high on the brief success of a show that was bound to take the world by storm. But my show got canceled before such fame and fortune would have come my way. Oh no, not canceled by any man. No, but canceled by a much higher source. It was time to fulfill my lifelong destiny, what I had been prepared for all my life. It was time to deliver the most important message of not just my life, but all of our lives. What great timing the boss has. Or maybe what bad timing I have, to be so interrupted and derailed when I was on the most exciting journey of my life and say to me, "Stop, it is time." Well, fasten your seatbelt and keep your hands in the car at all times. And do not exit the vehicle until it comes to a complete stop. This masquerade that we call life is about to be unmasked. But I digress. Let me take you back to the very beginning. The time when all of this started. Things were much different then.
Are we really happy here with this lonely game we play? We're lost in a masquerade. Hearts are weeping, disappear every time I see your eyes. No matter how hard I try, to understand the reasons that we carry on this way. Lost in a masquerade. No. Thoughts of weeping disappear every time I see your face. No matter how hard I've tried to understand the reasons why we carry on this way. We're lost in a masquerade. Oh, in a masquerade.